Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the February LegFi webinar. My name is Amanda, and today I'll be going over how to prep for new members. Sarah Beth is also joining me, and she'll answer any questions you may have throughout the webinar. I'll also answer some of those at the end of the webinar as well. If you would, please go ahead and introduce yourself in that question chat to make sure that that's working. And while you're doing that, I'm going to hand it over to Sarah Beth, and she will do an introduction of who LegFi is.
So for more than 30 years, LegFi has provided technology solutions to help customers manage their finances, streamline their operations, recruit new members, and communicate with their members. Whether it's working with 57 different headquarters or local chapters, house corporations, IFC, and Panhellenic councils, and alumni associations across more than 650 campuses, we remain the industry leader when it comes to technology in the fraternity and sorority community. Based out of Columbus, Georgia, we securely process more than 1.1 million per day for our clients and have securely processed more than 4 billion since 1992. We are also deeply committed to serving, promoting, and advancing the fraternity and sorority experience. We aim to make raving fans with every individual or group we work with by reaching, innovating, and acting with agility. We challenge ourselves to dream big every day and to help others achieve their dreams. To say we're passionate about what we do is an understatement, and it's that passion that has encouraged our clients to trust us to do the heavy lifting so they can focus on their mission and having fun.
Thanks, Sarah Beth. Our agenda for today is we're going to look at how to add new members. We're also going to look at updating income categories to prepare for when you send out invoices for spring billing. And then we'll look at treasury accounts and treasury cards. So to add new members, you'll come over here to the member module. And this is where you can see all of your current members. This is where you'll keep your roster up to date. So to add new members, you'll come up here to this add members. You can add members individually, or you can add them multiple members at one time by using the sample file here. And I did go ahead and create a file. So the ones that are required, the columns on the spreadsheet are the last name, the first name, the email address. They need to have a zip code and also their member type. One of the things that, just as a tip, before we're importing the members, you want to make sure that all of these columns up here have exactly what is supposed to go in. Sometimes the member type comes in as do not import, so you want to make sure that you choose member type so it uploads correctly. So once we add those, we're going to import members. When members are added, they will receive an email to the email that's on the spreadsheet, and then they will go in and they will create their LegFi account. If any fail to import, it will show down here who it was that failed to import and the reason for the failure. So it could be because it's a duplicate email address, or their email address was sometimes people will put .con instead of com. So it'll tell you exactly why it failed to import. So once you've uploaded your members, you can go back to the member list. And from here, if you need to update any admin access or anything like that, if there's new officers that you need to update, you can come out here, and under the actions column, you can go to permissions, and then you can update their admin status. So if someone is graduating, they no longer need admin status, you can just come up here and click this. So that will be taken away from them. And then if there's a new officer, you can come out here and you can do the same thing. You would just come under actions, permissions, and then give them the access that they need. At the top, you can see here who all is active, who has been archived, and if there are any members that have been sent to collections, it will show here. If you have members that have graduated or left for whatever reason and you need them to be archived, you will need to email us the member's name and then make sure that you include your chapter and organization and to ask us to archive it. You do not have the ability to archive members, but we do that within 24 to 48 hours. Another thing that I want to comment on is to make sure that you send that to us at least 3 to 4 business days before your subscription is billed again. And you can look at that under the gear icon here. Under billing, it will show you when your next billing date is. So make sure that you send that to us at least 3 to 4 business days before your next billing date so we can get those archived for you so that you are not charged for those members. One of the new features within LegFi is you can now add contacts. So under this contact section here, you can come in here and you can add if you have an alumni that's helping with your chapter that needs access to the LegFi account, you can come out here and add it, and that will not count towards your per member pricing. This is a new feature. It just went into effect this month. So if you have members or contacts that's under the members section, you can remove those. You can email us and ask us to move those to your contact. And again, that email address is info@legfi.com, and I'll also show you that on the PowerPoint at the end. The next thing I want to look at is we're going to go into the budget section here, and you want to make sure that your categories are up to date before you start creating invoices. So under the manage categories, you'll want to come out here and add any revenue categories, chapter dues and fees, national dues and fees, insurance, any kind of recruitment, anything that you plan on invoicing out this semester, you want to have a category for that so you can itemize those charges. So once that is up to date, all you have to do is add revenue category here. Come out here and you can add whatever that category is, and you'll click on the green check mark. Or if there are categories out here that you don't need, you can delete it or you can edit it and rename it. So once you are done with that, then you can create your invoices. So you will do that under the invoices module here. And under create new invoice, you can choose the members that you need to invoice. Or if you have groups and members, you can do that as well. So we can choose all of the active members and we're going to add them. It will move all of them here. And then we can go in and we can start adding charges. With LegFi invoicing, you can create your invoices however you would like to. And you can also create more than one charge for different dates. So if you have national dues and fees that need to go out right away, you can go ahead and create those. And then you can also create chapter dues and fees if those need to go out later, or if you have an event coming up, you can create all of those charges up front and then have different dates for those. So let me show you how that's done. Under the charge title, we're going to just do national dues and fees to start out. And we need those right away. We're not going to do a recurring charge. We're going to go ahead and charge all of those up front. So we'll do $150 2024 spring national dues and fees for the description. And then under the deposit financial account, this is where you can go and you can choose which financial account you want those when those payments start coming in from members, where you want that deposited into. If you have an external bank account, you can choose that. All of these are treasury accounts, so I'm going to choose the national dues account here. And then this is where you'll go and choose your revenue category that you created. So we're going to choose national dues and fees. The active date is the date that that invoice is sent out or becomes active. As soon as the invoice is created, members are emailed to let them know that charges are on their account, but it will show as a future charge. So if you want it to go out today, you can have it go out today, but we're going to choose to send these out on March 9th or February 19th, excuse me. And they're going to be due on March 1st. And then if they don't pay on time, we're going to do a $25 late fee. And we'll give them 7 days before that late fee goes into effect. So then we'll save the charge. And now we're going to go in, we're going to do our chapter dues and fees. This is going to be a recurring charge. And the chapter dues and fees is $300 over the whole semester. So we're going to do $100 per month. We'll choose the deposit financial account as the chapter operating account. And then we're going to use our revenue category, chapter dues and fees. And this is where you're going to come in and you're going to add in those recurring charges. So we want this to be active on March 1st. We want it due on March 15th. And then the next one will be April 1st, and then April 15th, and then we'll do another one for May. And you can choose whichever dates you want to choose. And if you want to do late after, you'll just add in the fee and the date here. Once that's done, you'll save the charges. And if you need to come back and edit those charges or delete those charges, you can do that here. And then you can continue. You can add additional charges, or if you're done, you can finish that up and add a message here. Before sending those invoices, you can come out here and preview the invoice, and it will show you exactly what the invoice looks like when it's sent to members. So this shows that the national dues and fees is due on March 1st, and then these chapter dues and fees, their due date and the fees associated with that. And if you're happy with the way it looks, you can come out here and click on Send Invoices. So once that's processed and sent, then you can come out here and you can see these charges that are in the future, that are current, or if it's past due. If you need to look at any deleted invoices, you can come out here and look at those as well. If you remember, oh, I shouldn't have charged him chapter dues and fees, you can come out here and you can delete that invoice for that member, and it will remove those charges from that member account. So once you are done creating invoices, you can come and you can look. You can go to members accounts and you can see exactly what each member owes. So we're going to look at Winston here, and we're going to see, so he has a past due amount, he has some current amounts, and then these future charges, it will show. Now, the ones that we just created, they're not going to go into effect until February 15th. So it's not showing yet, but it will show when those charges become active, and it will show when it's due on. So once you've created your invoices, you can come out here and you can look at any payments that begin coming through and see how they paid it. You can look at the details here, and it will show you if they paid by credit card, it will show you the credit card fee that's associated with that. And I know that for some, if you need to add an accounting fee or anything like that to your invoices, you can use this as a guide to help you with those fees. Now, if members pay with an e-check, the fees are not as much. With credit cards, Visa, MasterCard, and Discover charge, it's all around 3%, but Visa, MasterCard, and Discover charge 3.05%, and American Express charges 3.15%. So just keep that in mind when you are doing your invoices about those fees so that it doesn't come out of your funds for your chapter. All right, the next thing we're going to look at is financial accounts. This is where you can go to create treasury accounts and where you can go and add any external bank accounts. To add an external bank account, you'll just click here on this button. You'll search your bank for your bank name, and then you'll put in your information. One of the things that I want to point out with the external bank account, you are going to have to, it'll send you like 2 deposits, 1 cent or 2 cent, and you'll have to go in and you'll have to verify those amounts before it will link to your LegFi account. So just make sure that you're keeping an eye out for that, so that you can add your bank account and it links correctly. To add a treasury account, you'll come out here and click on Add Treasury Account. You'll look at the terms and conditions, accept those, click on Submit, and then it will take you through the Know Your Customer form. This form is securely encrypted, and the data provided will only be used by Stripe system to verify your identity. So you'll input the information that is required. You'll put in your cell phone number and email address, and it will send you a code to verify your phone number. Then you'll need to provide your name, contact, and identifying information and organization information to complete the form. If Stripe's automated system is unable to verify your identity, you may be asked to provide additional identification such as a driver's license to finish the process. So once you go through all of that process, your treasury account will show here and you'll get this green check mark that shows that it's verified. If it's not verified and you do have to submit your driver's license, it will show information required. You'll click on it and it will tell you what information Stripe is looking for from you. And then once you submit it, it's a pretty quick process for them to verify that, and then your account will be verified. You can also transfer funds. You can transfer funds from your treasury account to treasury account. You can transfer funds from your external bank account to your treasury account, and you can transfer funds from your treasury accounts to your external bank account. So just to do that, you'll come up here to fund transfers and you'll walk through the process of transferring. So you'll choose the account you want to transfer from and then to. You'll put in the amount. Any notes that go along with that transfer. And then if you want the transfer date to be in the future, you can choose that. And then you'll click next. It will ask you to confirm everything, make sure that everything is correct, and then you'll submit it. From treasury account to treasury account, it is immediate. But from like your external bank account to the treasury account or vice versa, it takes 2 to 3 business days. Once you've opened a treasury account, then you can begin adding treasury cards under each account. You can have as many treasury cards as you like. You can have one for each treasury account. If you have an event committee and they need certain individuals on that committee needs to have a treasury card, you can open those cards for them. So you would just click on these 3 dots, go to treasury cards, and then from here, you'll add a card holder. You'll choose the member. You'll choose the card type. You can choose physical or virtual. A physical card takes 5 to 10 days for it to be received. And then virtual cards are instant. So as soon as the card holder data is entered, you'll get the card number and the expiration date, and then you can add that to your Google Pay, Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, whatever you use, you can add that and you can begin using it immediately. So we're going to do virtual. And then under the spending limit, you want to make sure that this is updated correctly, especially if it's just for a member. So if it is just for like a committee member and you only want them to have a certain amount to spend for a certain event, you want to make sure that the spending limit is correct and that you're using this to help you stay within your budget. Or if it's for an officer and they need more, you want to make sure if they're only supposed to spend $300 a week, you want to make sure that this is updated. Or you can do all time. So like I said earlier, if you have an event committee and a member is going out to buy supplies and all they have is $150, you can put all time and then put that spending limit of $150. This can be updated at any time. So if you start out with 150 and then you need to go back and update it, you can go back and do that when you need to. So then you'll click on done, agree to the terms and conditions, and then click next. You'll review all of the information and then click submit. Once that's done, we'll go back to the treasury cards, and here it shows that it's pending card holder data. Now I'm logged in as Lady, but if you're entering a card for another member, they will be emailed to let them know that a card has been added for them and they need to put in their card holder information. So I'll show you what that looks like even in the email. This is the information that they're going to have to put in. So we'll go to add cardholder information, and all they're asked to provide all of their information. So their email, the phone number, date of birth, address, and then they need to agree to the terms and conditions and click on continue. They'll review everything, make sure it's correct, and then submit. And it says it was success. So we'll go back to view treasury cards, and now it's showing that it's active. If you notice, like I cannot look at Jess's card number here, it just shows me the last four, but I can look at my own card number. You just click on the eyeball and it shows you all of the information that you need. So then you can go in and you can add that to your Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, whatever you use. If for any reason you need to close a card or suspend a card, you can do that from the same actions menu here. You'll go to these three dots. If you can't find your card, but you're not sure if it was lost or stolen, you can suspend it. Or if somebody is using the card and they shouldn't be using it, you can come out here and suspend it. With suspending it, you can reactivate it. But if you close a card, you can't reactivate it. You'll have to reopen another one. You can also report a card lost or stolen. If you suspend it because you're not sure and then you realize that it was in fact lost or stolen, you would just come out here and report that. And then you can also view or edit the card. So this is if you needed to update that spending limit, you would come out here and do that here. So under the spending limit, you would just click on the weekly, and that's where you would come out here to update those spending limits. Okay, that is everything I have for you all today. Sarah Beth, were there any questions?
I had one going back to the first part about adding new members. Would you add a transfer the same way?
So what you would, yes. So if they're transferring from one chapter to another, the chapter that they are transferring from, they need to email us info@legfi.com and let us know that they're transferring. So we would go in and we would archive them from that chapter, and then once they are archived, then you can come in here and you can add a member the same way you would add any other member. That's a good question. Were there any other questions?
No, ma'am, I think that was all for today.
Okay. All right, like I said earlier, if you need to send us an email, go to info@legfi.com. And we also have an in-app help, which is our Get Help section, which can be found here under this question mark. We have articles and webinars. This webinar will be uploaded to our help center as well as to YouTube. If you need to search for anything, you'll just come out here and enter the word that you're searching for, and it will pull up articles and videos that we have done. So if that's all, there are no other questions. Thanks everyone for joining us today. We hope you have a great afternoon, and you will receive an email with this recording in a few days. Have a great afternoon.